Oh, the camera seems to be turned off, but I will fix it in a second. Hello, Gokarp, anyway. Is it your first time here?
Yes, my first time here. Hello.
Did you also have Casper Ruud awakening of sorts in Estoril? Are you on that team?
Yes, definitely. The net clearance of the forehand. Yesterday, I hit the court and I was trying to do the same, shanking all my balls. you know. But yeah, Estoril was a hype for me watching Monte Carlo this week. I
Damien will be back in about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He's just reconnecting his
yeah
internet.
yeah.
Anyway, just tell us a bit more, because I was also very impressed with Casper in Estoril. I don't know what it was. A little bit of everything. He talked to us about adding speed to his forehand, and I left Estoril thinking he was the best player in that tournament. He might not have won the tournament, but he was the best player there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have been thinking about it before Estoril, actually, with his hard court results at the beginning of the year. I think it was very promising, especially compared to last year when he didn't have a strong, start. When he was coming from Latin America, touring with Rafa, that wasn't the best start for him last year. And this year looks pretty different. He already had top 20, top 30, I think, in the first week of the year at the United Cup. So, and then 2 finals in Mexico. I thought like clay was going to be big for him, but until that semifinal, yeah, he looks promising with what he said as well, like tweaks on his serve, big forehand. So, but still, yesterday was a surprise. With all that said, beating Djokovic is another thing.
Maybe. I remember sort of talking about this yesterday with Basel, with Vanch. Personally, I wasn't that surprised, mostly because, well, it just seemed like Novak is pretty vulnerable. And despite the Pedro Martinez loss in Estoril, like it just kind of felt like a match where for 3 hours the other guy is peaking. And while that could be an issue, like if you can't throw off people who are peaking and if they just beat you every single time, yes, that could be an issue potentially, maybe. But I was kind of willing to give Casper, a bit of a break with that, just sort of see if that continues throughout the clay season. Obviously, so far we haven't really seen that in Monte Carlo, so he gets the chance to go for the biggest title of his career. And I am also very pleased that I had that Estoril awakening, because right now I feel like I can sort of enjoy it to its fullest extent. Previously, maybe I would be like, again, Casper Ruud in a big final. But now I'm like, sure. This guy could easily have an ATP 1000 title on clay, and it's not going to be anything weird. So, yeah.
He now this final is also coming with beating Djokovic, so that's something else. He also had good wins. I think who did he beat? Like at the U.S. Open, he beat Berrettini, I think. So that was another good one, but like nothing like this, right?
Yeah.
Not a top 3 win.
All 3 Slam finals runs, I think, were just lacked that sort of signature win, definitely.
Yeah. He took, he made the most of his draw those times.
Yeah, and we can't really say that today, I suppose, given that he played Novak. Any feelings about this final coming up? Ruud Tsitspas, we haven't mentioned, but like it's 2-2 in the head-to-head between them. We haven't really seen that matchup all that much. So is it just sort of a lottery for you coming into this one?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're pretty close in chances. I think you guys were saying 51-49 for Ruud. I'm inclining the other way for Tsitsipas. I was actually surprised that they haven't played that much. Like they're the same age, and they like clay. Both of them, they play the same tournament, so didn't just 3 matches ATP Tour level. And I was surprised to see Ruud win 2 of them, because I don't know, for some reason I was giving like serve and forehand. I was giving Tsitsipas the edge. And I think with like what Ruud is trying to do, this making forehand bigger, it's like he's making more errors than he used to. It's like this transition phase for him. It looks like yesterday as well in Estoril, he was making some errors. So I think whoever's going to hit the forehand better today, I think we're going to watch a lot of inside-out forehand rallies. So I feel like Tsitsipas can break that a bit, come to the net more comfortably, and probably trust more his serve more often. And winning here 2 times is, I still can't believe he did that. Like, not the matches he won, but like the fact that he won Monte Carlo twice ahead of a lot of other players. So yeah, I give him the slight edge, but I'm kind of rooting for Casper. I want that 250 thing to get off his shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of bigger for Casper than it is for Steph, but also because he's been struggling. I feel like there's going to be quite a lot of nerves for either player, which only makes it tougher to predict, really. And yeah, I mean, errors come into play when you're trying to be more aggressive, like just kind of goes with it. Yesterday, I don't think we really saw that because for large chunks of that match, Djokovic was dominating completely. And Casper just kind of, until the third set, hoping that Djokovic would keep missing. But yeah, today he should feel more comfortable. Today he should have more time to dictate. I don't know if more than Tsitsipas, but definitely more than yesterday. There's always that argument of like the heavy RPMs going into that Tsitsipas backhand. I think this week we've seen that Steph on clay can really just cover it up so well. Doesn't matter that he doesn't have the slice. On return, it's still somewhat an issue, but maybe not against someone like Ruud. You mentioned the serve. Someone yesterday was pointing this out in the chat. I remember too. Of course, it's a fine argument. Maybe on clay, it's just less meaningful, given that, like, the difference between their serves is just not going to be that big a deal. But yeah, all in all, I mean, regardless if you're going 51 this guy or 51 the other, that's pretty much the same anyway.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the tiniest of edges. For the bookmakers, actually, Tsitsipas is a slightly bigger favorite than that. But I think yesterday we also mentioned with Basel, with Vanch, because Basel wasn't there anymore, but like with Vanch, that's kind of what we're expecting, despite personally leaning the other way. Of course, the ATP will tell you that they've only played on clay once, which is not true. 2016 ITF final. Stefanos won, I think, in the third set tiebreak. Don't listen to the ATP.
Yeah, 10K final. That's a good one. 2 tiebreaks in the final 2 sets.
Exactly. I wish I remembered that. I wish I watched it, but of course, back in the day, maybe ITF streaming could have been an even bigger mess than right now. Hello, Vanch.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Hello, Golub.
Hi, Vanch. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good as well, thank you.
Have you had, Vanch, any sudden change of heart since yesterday? Any sudden new ideas on the matchup?
I give Tsitsipas make him a slight favorite. Mostly that just has to do with the venue, history in the past. Maybe just Ruud still maybe feeling like he has pressure to get his first big title. Maybe that could play into it. I don't know. It's kind of really hard to find like what one guy does really well compared to the other because they're so similar in terms of their clay court games. I think you were leaning slightly Casper, right?
Weren't you yesterday too?
Yeah, and I was too yesterday, but then like overnight I started to think more about it. Then.
Sure. I mean, I get the pressure argument. I just think there's a lot of pressure on Steph as well.
Yeah.
Fair, yeah. What's the Ruud is serving first. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of something we can like never fully rate, like how the pressure will affect them, and it very well could be just a match that sort of is decided by this, like who just gets to play the braver tennis and just doesn't care about the occasion, or at least tries not to.
Yeah.
Where are you guys in the actual match?
30 love.
Yeah, same. So
okay,
happy to say I'm not
so it looks like it's
ages
fine,
behind, like I was expecting to be. So yeah,
looks like we should be more or less in line. So that's good.
Yeah, After all those things I said about Tsitsipas' serve, Ruud started with an ace. What a statement.
I mean, that's part of the improvement this year too, right? That's something he
Yeah.
told us in Estoril as well. I don't know if you were already there during that.
I was.
interview.
I remember, yeah, with the foot, the right foot going further back to slow himself down, right?
Yeah, that one.
I loved his interviews after, because my first live one was with Hurkacz, so that was like day and night. The insights, the amount of insight we got from the two of them with Ruud, like completely different. Yeah.
That was on Friday then, or on Thursday already?
I think Friday. It must be Friday, yeah.
Friday, because Thursday was an even bigger contrast. I remember in the early in the day, of course, Hurkacz beat Chojnicki, and he was just like, that was out of the 4 that he gave in the story, that was the worst one by far. It was like rapid fire. And then Casper comes in, and I was just like, whoa! But on Friday, I suppose that contrast was probably existing as well.
Yeah.
And we also have Basil in the chat saying that Casper Ruud will win today. He was very actively rooting for Casper yesterday too. I think he signed off the stream after the first set saying, "Go Casper" or something like that. And in the end, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, that's the watching a player from up close several times effect, I think. You kind of like want to be on that journey.
It hit all of us.
Yeah.
Already some very, well, not shanks yet, but already some questionable backhands from Stefanos Tsitsipas as Casper takes the first game.
Some errors for sure. 30 all, good example. But also that's Ruud's high heavy topspin pushing Tsitsipas back, feeling like he has to hit the ball from way up high.
Yeah, that one was acceptable. The last one maybe a little less so, but I didn't even like on my screen right now I have the ranking permutations. I didn't even bother to check that. Of course, Casper, even if he wins, he can't break to number 5 in the rankings. He will stay at 6. Stefanos, however, if he wins, he could be number 7, back in the top 10
nice.
after this run.
Yeah.
So I guess already showing that we might not be seeing him at like 20 in the rankings or something like that, which seemed like a real possibility actually if his clay season was weak.
Yeah, definitely. Like the trend was not so positive for him.
No.
And then he sees Monte Carlo, and then he wakes up, comes back to himself.
Yeah.
I actually have a funny story with him. I visited the tournament, I think 4 years ago, and I was just driving by. I wasn't staying there because it's incredibly expensive, but I was driving by to see like where's what, and then I saw Tsitsipas on the street on his skateboard. I'm like, wow, okay, like what are the odds? And then I thought, okay, he's a real local here. It's not that just he owns the apartment and spends 2 days a year there, but he knows his way around the town. So
yeah, there's some sort of rule that you need to stay there for like some number of days every year, basically, to be a resident. But I think still, like some tennis players, it's impossible that they actually do that. There must be some exceptions. But yeah, so was that the year without the tournament? You were just sort of like randomly in Monte Carlo?
No, I went to the tournament, but probably he lost, or maybe he didn't have a match that day. So that was 2019.
19, yeah. He lost to Medvedev there, just before Medvedev beat Djokovic.
That was, Medvedev's crazy clay tournament, right? Exactly.
Yeah, and he also made the Barcelona final right after. So, the beginnings of clay Medvedev were there.
Yeah. There were signs for Rome, but like 4 years before that.
He'll obviously defend his title, though, right?
Yeah.
First title defense, Daniel Medvedev, Rome, would be perfect. One game all in the meantime. Hope the scoreboard is okay. I actually haven't checked that. Well, is it okay? Guess it's not.
No.
Is that whose fault is that now? Is it me or is it the ATP?
I want to say the
refresh
ATP.
it.
There-
Hopefully. I just refreshed, and hopefully it's gonna keep refreshing itself, or maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh. Bit of a dodgy smash there on that point, but got it
Yeah, I
done.
spoiled a couple for myself.
And that time he actually hit a pretty good backhand down the line and just was able to open up the court. Get something shorter to work with and try to attack. So far, Tennis Insight says Ruud has been hitting his backhand very well this whole tournament. 8.7, I think, is the rating. Tour average 7.2. Tsitspas right in the
And
middle.
Casper's
at
average
7.1.
probably around 7.2 as well in general.
Yeah, it doesn't show that, but that's a good guess.
Oh, I would say definitely not in the 8s. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like
Tsitspas definitely
about
put
that
out
I
his
can be
average this
confident.
week for sure. And some of that is clay as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of that is coming. For Casper too, I guess.
Yeah. Although 3 breakpoints here for Stefanos. Second serve return. Yeah, he goes way back and gets some good depth here on the backhand return.
Yeah, nice forehand.
Yeah, very
Kind
good.
of inside in.
No, I'm suddenly way behind, it seems. But, whatever.
I'm kind of in sync with the screen, so it's working perfectly for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I'm
Okay.
a point behind from the ATP, but that's okay. And he saves it really nicely with a serve +1 forehand in the open court. Big first serve. Very good placement on that first serve.
Oh, the whole family is here. Parents, the brothers, everybody.
Yeah. This is very much a family tournament for Tsitspas. I think his mom
Right.
won, a tournament back in her, I guess,
The juniors, I think.
juniors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Tsitspas does not mind hitting a forehand from there. And boy, he gets some decent width on that. And Ruud guides the backhand down line, and Tsitspas runs over with the forehand cross court and hits a winner for it. So it's a break. Yeah. The key was he got a lot of good second serve returns in that game too.
Yeah.
Which I think on this surface, his return numbers would get way better on the clay, especially second serve returns. He can just go way back and essentially hit forehands from the backhand corner.
Exactly. I thought we would see even more of those, but Tsitsipas hit some backhands in that game.
Tennis TV showing the forehand quality insights for the tournament. Tsitsipas at number 1, 8.9 for the week. Sinner was at 8.6. Number 3 is Ruud, 8.3. So
Somewhat surprising that Sinner was lower than Tsitsipas.
And Sinner was lower than Ruud on the backhand. Because
Wow.
yeah, they're showing the backhand one. 8.6 for Casper, 8.4 for Sinner, 7.9 for Steph. I think Steph is 5th, like just behind Karen Tachanov. I don't remember who was number 3. It's disappeared from my screen, but yeah.
I'm not yet sure how much to trust these stats, actually. I mean, I saw, for example, that after the Echeverry win, where Tsitsipas obviously won 12 games in a row, people were like pointing out that his tennis inside stats were ridiculous, like over 9 on both shots, I think. But then I was like, I mean, if he won 12 games in a row, does it kind of mean that he had all the time in the world on them as well? You kind of have to just remember that they're just
Sure,
stats.
yeah. You have to take it with a pinch of salt for sure. It's not the overwhelming godly metric.
Well, it might become one. I mean, it's getting more popular. It's getting thrown into more broadcasts, news reports and stuff. It might actually become a very important metric in the future.
Yeah,
of
and
tennis
next year
coverage.
with all the electronic line calling, I think they'll have even more insights on clay as well. But if they're saying Sinner's backhand was worse than Ruud's, I'm kind of starting to, increase the salt.
Yeah, you are throwing salt on it like a normal person. Now you're like Gordon Ramsay.
Exactly. I'm going
He says-
Medvedev cramping kind of salt.
Medvedev cramping, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Maybe it's also like the opponent that you're playing. If you have a really good backhand day against someone else who has a really good backhand, maybe that helps your numbers. I don't know how it's done, but maybe it's influencing, the fact that he played Djokovic yesterday and he had some very good backhand down lines that were key.
Exactly. And
Don't have to apologize to us, Gene, by the way. Of course, we know how hard it is to follow everything in the tennis world. Glad you're here for the finals, though.
Sad to see Alcaraz pull out of Barcelona, but hopefully this means he can be healthy by Madrid and actually get to play Rome properly this time.
Well, the reports are that he should be, right? That he's like almost ready, but not fully ready, but like the injury is gone. I don't know, how much we can trust that as well, but it doesn't seem like it's that bad.
Hopefully.
I saw some ridiculous claims already that now he's not one of the favorites for Roland Garros or something like that. There's still a lot of time to prep yourself in Madrid or Rome. Pretty key point here, 30 all. And I don't know if you guys have seen that already, but
no, they're still playing it for me right now. A big point. Ooh.
Oh,
yeah, it's a wild,
it's
a wild miss.
Bad miss.
Tried to make it too good.
So I'm gonna blame the freeze on the ATP site because they're claiming right now that Ruud is serving, so it's on them.
Oh, yeah. They just think that there hasn't been any breaks. Yeah, it happens a lot, but I thought it was only on the Challenger Tour. Challenger Tour scoreboards on the ATP Tour website are always broken, but here, well, I can try to switch to a different one.
No, I mean,
it's my first time sharing screen, and the ATP is not making it easy for me.
Ooh, Ruud will want that forehand back.
Yeah,
for sure. This opportunity to get a return in play.
Kind of the most criminal thing you can do if you're standing so far back and still miss.
Very far back. Like the line judge pretty much has to get out of the way. Ooh, I don't know what happened on that point because my stream just got
a deep return and then Tsitspas shanked the forehand.
Okay. And did he make the first serve? Or was it second serve?
I think so.
Well, that was a wild first serve miss on the break point.
Boris Becker in the crowd.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. He can enter Monaco, but he can't enter the UK, Australia.
Oh, he can't even go to Australia? I didn't know that.
I guess that's why he didn't go. I don't know.
Ah, yeah, now I see him.
I'm
He's
guessing.
waving.
But yeah, that also could have been a break. I mean, the
Yeah.
first forehand was it that Tsitsipas missed? I mean, that Tsitsipas landed on the line, and I was like fully expecting it to go out.
Yeah, I
Same.
thought it was out.
I thought it was out as well.
Wow.
Going for the lob again in Tsitsipas, though. Whoa. That is a very...
How many times does he hit it until we call it sissy smash? No, not yet. No, just that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday there definitely were a couple of Djoko smashes. We can, however, have Tsitsi passes. That's pretty easy.
Ooh.
But then again, he has to make a pass. And
Yeah.
that's not going to be obvious in this one, especially.
Yeah.
I think he won a set with Zverev on a passing shot. There you could definitely call it. But with
Backhand
Ruud,
cross court.
yeah, backhand actually, yes.
Good serve to save the break point.
Yeah. Very good.
Wow.
Whoa.
Best shot of the match so far. 158
So
kilometers an hour on that down the line forehand.
So good.
After missing a pretty ridiculous smash and that inside out forehand in this game, he finds this, and
Yeah, that's just way too good.
It looks like it's very hot out there for everyone with the fans in the background.
You know, Monte Carlo is kind of like the weaker version of Estoril, you know, in terms of the weather, the location.
Yeah, it's like Estoril 0.5.
Yeah. Estoril is Monte Carlo 2.0. Francesco Totti as well on my screen right now. More celebrities.
He must have thought Sinner was going to be here today.
Probably.
So many Italians all week.
So many F1 drivers. Players.
That too.
Problem is that the F1 drivers I mostly won't recognize. It's just Lewis Hamilton for me, and all the other guys from like the 2000s. But after that, I'm going blank.
I know all the guys from the first season of Drive to Survive. If there's a new pilot, I don't know them because I just watched the first season.
And did you start watching Formula One after that?
I did, but then I stopped.
Okay.
That lasted it didn't go long term.
Okay. But I guess it's still, you're still a successful representative of the Drive to Survive movement, or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. I was converted. I watched, I didn't understand anything. I was watching the names go up and down. Oh, there's one. Leclerc.
That's a shop. You're never gonna convince me that's a driver. That's a shop.
That's right. Yeah.
So, are you based in Turkey, Volker?
Yeah, I'm in Istanbul. Based in Turkey.
What was the city again?
Istanbul.
Oh,
the
Istanbul.
biggest one.
I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, Vansh, you know?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, I have 20 more million people with me here in this city. It's a sizable one.
it's few people there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
We have
It's
a few
like
tennis courts, thankfully.
Is Istanbul in Europe or in Asia? What's your opinion?
I'm on the Asian side, so Yeah,
So you have to say Asia. Sure.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, and Casper was hoping to just hit that backhand volley in the open court, but Tsitspas got so much on that pass, if you like.
That was a chance for a Tsitsipas, but no.
Yeah.
Oh, now Ruud coming forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want microphone near them at all times and a translator to tell us what they're saying to their coaches and fathers, and because
Yeah.
Ruud is very calm when he speaks during a match. It's like I want to know what he's saying.
John, when he had these press seats, right? I mean, the photographer seats or whatever, he could
Yeah,
actually hear
you're right.
Casper pretty well.
Yeah.
But of course, that was like kind of only because they only were giving out tickets to one ticket per organization, basically.
Yeah.
Some short
But,
slice defense of Stefanos on the forehand makes it a little bit trickier for Ruud on the approach. And we have a break point for double break. This would basically all but seal this set, you would think.
You would think. I mean, Tsitsipas led 5-0 against Zverev in the second set, but yeah, that was a few days ago. That was a different Stefanos Tsitsipas. Kind of was. And indeed, he breaks. Casper Ruud with another short ball error, really.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, I mean, the set seems kind of done. Ruud obviously had one yesterday, which was also done relatively early. But he didn't go down a set there, so that kind of was the key difference. And it's not been a great performance from him so far. I mean, 4-1 is also like a little harsh on him, given he had these few breakpoints. But then again, they were also caused by like wild misses from Tsitsipas. They weren't caused by his amazing play, right?
Yeah, and then there's that second serve return that
Yeah,
he should have made, and this forehand he should have made.
Yeah, he missed 3 forehands, I think, this game only.
Yeah.
And he's been like somewhat dominated, I would say. Like, there's no Casper Ruud highlights so far. There's no Casper Ruud well-prepared attacking points. Not really.
Yeah. And it's like the stats say he hit 28 shots, ground strokes, and 24 of them were forehands. So how was he double breakdown?
So he's getting, he's getting what he wants.
Yeah, 6 unforced errors on the forehand. 0 winners.
0 winners. Wow.
I can show it on the screen. I'll show it on the screen as well, I guess. Tsitsipas 18 backhands, 15 forehands. So
yeah, he's hitting a lot of backhands.
And yet
he's not leaving the court open.
And out of these 18 ground strokes on the backhand side, Tsitsipas only has 1 unforced error. That doesn't seem right, but anyway.
Yeah, these are the ATP stats. I don't really trust those numbers. I'll wait till they show it up on the screen.
He definitely had at least 2 major shanks, I would say. And
definitely more than one. I mean, there was more than one in the first game itself, so there's no way.
Exactly. Like, they were just pretty much 2 in a row. And they definitely both would classify. So, but if we just sort of look at the stats, I mean, definitely he's hitting a lot of backhands, and most of the time the rally still goes on. He's not messing most of them up. And Casper, despite hitting so many of his
serve percentage, because it can't be that high.
Whose?
Steph's, because there was the one service game where pretty much.
47%. Casper 67.
But obviously, when he's making the first serve, he's winning a lot.
Yeah, that's a great rally as well to kick off the 6th game. Kind of like out-positioning Casper in the end.
Mm-hmm. And yes, it's just getting a lot of height on some of these backhands, just making sure that they're deep and just heavy. And I mean, on a faster court, he just had no time to hit these. It's like trying to go full swing on a lot, and you see way more shanks, a lot of just shorter balls that you can attack. And here you're not getting as many chances.
Oh, first winner on the forehand.
Yeah.
And a return winner that.
It would be kind of tragic if like that's how this match continues and goes on until the end. Obviously not for Tsitspas, but like for Ruud. You mentioned the 250 stuff, and yeah, I mean, so far he's like kind of getting outplayed, and here we have another rally where it seems like Tsitspas will just clinch it, outmaneuvers him, and eventually gets the job done.
Great inside out.
A little bit, if you're Casper, do you think he should be a little bit closer to the baseline? Maybe try to take the backhand return a little bit earlier. We know he can do it in rallies.
Seems like there's no other option, really. I mean, if he wants to put any pressure on the Tsitsipas backhand, which he should, and we've mentioned he's getting this many forehands and yet not doing much with them. And
Tsitsipas
probably
also
some
very
of that is the
proactive.
positioning.
Yeah, and he just hit a backhand on the line winner, but the key was the return because he got it so deep, and Tsitsipas was having to hit a forehand inside out, but like kind of on his back foot, and so he had no other option but to just loop it like he would a cross-court backhand, and then that's when Casper can have something to work with.
And that's the kind of backhand down the line you wouldn't really see from Casper pre-2024 for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday he had this phenomenal one.
To chase that ball down. The volley just kind of sat up a little bit.
Yeah.
Was
not the best volley he hit.
No.
Yeah, just trying to end that game pretty quickly with the approach, but we'll see if it ends up backfiring.
Still not many first serves made in this game. That time he does. I feel like he's having a lot of success with that serve down the tees on the deuce side. Especially because Casper is looking out for the one out wide. He doesn't want get burned by that.
Oh yeah, he finally found an inside out of himself.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Ghosty, just for you, I will show this. Yeah, I will try to enlarge the scoreboard. Here you go. Hopefully you're going to be satisfied now. And that's funny about Vansh not being frozen, but just being Vansh.
Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, the ATP website still shows Ruud serving, but it's Steph.
Yeah. Sorry for that, guys. Sean was asking about some chat about Emma Raducanu today, but wasn't that yesterday that she won both matches?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really chat about that, I guess, on yesterday's stream. I don't know if there was much, but it's definitely a nice start to the indoor clay mini swing with Stuttgart.
Yeah. I think she played Stuttgart in 2022, and
she did. She
won
played
8 games of Swiatek. Yeah, it was 4-4.
And also played last year, right? That was her last event of 2023, I believe.
Really? I don't remember that, but maybe.
She got just blown off the court by Ostapenko.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Was that her last event, though? I think so. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Did they play on indoor clay for BJK Cup? Okay.
Here, in France, in some city in France, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They actually played on indoor clay, yes, and Great Britain managed to win.
5-1.
Very good so far from Steph, but some better signs. Maybe Casper for the second set. He's gonna mount a comeback.
Yeah, those backhands are just too good. He's not afraid to
Wow.
hit them.
That was a perfectly hit one.
And sort of on cue, there's that question from Sean as well, which I think the
Super
answer
easy
to
to
this
say.
is it's just clay.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. I mean, this is the slowest clay court.
I need to check the
There is.
comments. I don't see them.
I mean, this is literally the slowest clay.
There was one question for you as well. I don't know if you want to answer it, but I showed it on the screen though.
I think so. I think this is the reason. I still say Turkey because switching languages in the middle of sentence is hard for me. But I think this is why, and maybe to improve search results on Google to avoid, during Thanksgiving especially. I don't have any other explanation for this name change.
It's a good answer. Although the jokes were definitely quite funny. Recently, I got surprised by this because I had to write Turkey in some sort of, let's say, official document. And I was, someone pointed out to me that, well, it's not Turkey anymore. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But apparently, yes.
Yeah, you might see it on like social media comments. Some Turkish people teaching others how to write the new way. I'm like, relax. It's like we know what they're saying.
By the way, Ghosty, about this, I mean, aren't you saying the same thing when you're saying I just think he's being more consistent and not spraying it as much? Like, it's not just a thing that you're gonna tune in. It's just a matter of the fact that there's no pressure directed at your backhand, or at least the pressure is much weaker, much lessened compared to what he would usually get on a quicker court. So you're kind of saying the same thing, actually.
It's just it's not the most compact stroke. So when he has time on the ball, he can do damage with it. It's just when it's rushed or when it's coming really heavy with a lot of power.
Finally, I managed to set my camera to like a decent quality, not something that looked like out of the calculator or whatever. Right, set point for Stefanos Tsitsipas. That is brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tsitspas hitting his backhand so well that he doesn't even have to leave the court open. He can reach the attacks to the forehand side as well. That was a good dig.
He's just really kind of in the zone. I remember the first set he played against Sinner yesterday was just, some of the best tennis I've seen. Definitely since Australia.
Finally he misses a return. And on set point, that is.
Makeable one.
Yeah, definitely.
He was trying to go after it at least. That's kind of, you can forgive him that, especially as well.
He tried to take that a little bit earlier, higher on the shoulder, rise. You might as well try it.
Starts landing that, he might as well bagel Ruud in the second set.
Oh, and that time again, another good backhand return. He's really kind of feeling like he can do anything right now on that. Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my. Oh my, indeed.
Yeah. This would be brutal for Casper to get broken while he's trying to save the set. Have Tsitsipas serve first. Tsitsipas, by the way, also known to have second set dips.
Oh my god!
Oh no! Yes, I knew as soon as you said, "Oh my god," it was going to be a no phone.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know where I am.
Oh, that's fine. I'm trying very hard. Don't worry.
I know. I was like, okay.
I thought I was gonna sort of maybe sell it as a reaction to the previous point, but apparently I didn't.
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
good.
confused. I was like, because
that's
the
good.
forehand was
That's
also,
good.
oh my god, worthy. The one
That's what I
Casper
was
missed.
trying to go for. I already saw the
Yeah.
double fault. I was
Good
like
job.
trying to go for it. 10 unforced errors on the forehand and 1 winner. Was that right? What I just saw from Casper? And
7.
by the way,
7 winners and 10 unforced.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 winners.
There's
Oh, of course.
7 and 10.
Okay, at least. So no, that's not Casper's. That's Stefanos.
Yeah. Stefanos 10 and 6.
No, it is Casper's. 7 forehand winners from Ruud in this set.
Yeah, that's what
When?
it showed on the stream.
Who is counting
When?
this?
I mean, tennis
Yeah, and
TV.
on their stats page.
Yeah, I mean, but
But
It's
when?
1.
I mean, 7 forehand winners from Casper in the entire set?
what?
No bloody way. I mean, how
Yeah,
many points
the
has he actually
site
won in
is,
total? 20 points in total, and you're telling
American.
me that 7 he won through forehand winners? That's impossible.
Yeah, no.
Sean was also talking here about Federer shanking a fair amount of backhands in his latter career because he was taking it so early. Maybe if Steph took an extra split second on the groundies, he would hit it cleaner. I mean, here he has that extra split second, right? But if he tries to play like he's playing on clay on a faster court, it's probably not going to work out anyway. He's just going to be too defensive then.
Speaking of Alcaraz pulling out of Barcelona, I'll tell you who is happy that Alcaraz is pulling out of Barcelona, and that's Stefanos Tsitspas. Because he
had him in his quarter.
Yeah, and he would probably have won like 4 Barcelona titles if it wasn't for Alcaraz and Nadal.
Oh yeah.
Fabian Marozsan.
Fabian Marozsan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, I think he starts to go.
If they played Barcelona, Marozsan would have an excellent chance to win.
Yeah. I just want to watch the drop shot fest.
Drop shot fest and all the shots taken early going at the backhand were actually someone who can, like, even on clay put pressure on it.
Yeah.
ATP 1000 GOAT, right?
Fabian, yeah, but Barcelona unfortunately not a 1000.
Yeah.
Wait, so his stats must have. Well, he hasn't played Monte Carlo, right? He didn't play it.
No, he didn't play.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he's just doing it like not to hamper his records, by now, because he's only played 3 events. No, 4 events. 4 events, right? He's only played 4 events and done well at all of them.
Shanghai and Indian Wells in Miami.
Yeah,
Is that all?
and in the meantime, he skips Cincinnati qualifying. He skips Canada qualifying. He was actually in Banja Luka, I think, playing a challenger during one of them. Then I think goes to the States after that. So it's an interesting strategy, but he's trying to keep that up. Yeah, Raf. John says on the chat that he hasn't seen Casper play this bad in a long time. Well, apparently he hit 7 forehand winners to 10 unforced errors. So what the hell are you talking about?
Maybe one of them was the forehand volley, and if you want to count the ace as a forehand ace, which is not possible.
Serve is definitely different.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
But
it's
volleys
like
do count. Volleys do count. But I'm just sort of looking at the ATP website. So, for example, they show one forehand drop shot, one forehand approach shot, but no volley.
Yeah.
They don't show any volleys actually.
Yeah, he hit a volley winner.
2 overheads, so maybe one winner overhead. So still, even if you count all of that up, it's 4 on the forehand. But even these stats, I mean, Casper only hitting 7 backhands, no, off the ground, nah. These stats are just BS. And both Tennis TV and ATP Tour, actually, both sources are lying.
We need to get our own count.
I do not think Tsitspas will roll through this set. I sense a dip coming.
Are you hearing it? I thought, okay, because are you hearing the train as well? Because I thought my microphone was just blocking
We
it
heard
out. That's why.
something. Right now we're hearing the call to prayer.
Yeah,
Is
if you
Ghosty got
wanna,
it? Yeah.
if you wanna,
No,
pray.
that's perfectly fine. It's just in the background.
The best was Istanbul Challenger. I want to remember who it was. He could not serve. He wanted to wait for the call to prayer to stop. It was like, and it was a famous player as well. I can't remember now. It's about to finish.
In Poland, we have this like commemoration on the 1st of August of a certain World War II event in 1944.
Okay.
And basically, on the 1st of August at 5 p.m., there are a lot of sirens as well. And I remember in Sopot in 2019, Martinez had a real problem with it. He was playing Savvat on an outside court, and he was like, "Why weren't we told?" And in fact, that was a very good argument because the players should have been told beforehand. Actually, it only happens once a year. I suppose the organizers just didn't remember, just as I didn't. Like every single time it happens once a year, I'm like, "Wait, what the hell is happening? And, are we getting bombed? Are we what?" And then I realized. So I get it, but Martinez was definitely having like a very let's just say a big reaction to it. Maybe a little bit even too agitated, but well, I mean, he lost that much, he was losing that much, so probably that contributed.
Oh,
that was a turning point. So I'm gonna go back on the salt with the tennis insights because their data is looking good. Another backhand winner from Ruud. I might trust them.
Probably more trustworthy than the two stats pages we've been mentioning. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a rare error by the Tennis TV stats people, I would say, after a set.
Yeah, the flat serve out wide served him twice now from breakpoints, I think.
Another very good combination.
I can't help but worry about how this second set will look, because if it's just more of the same,
that would be a shame.
It's a nice touch from the Monte Carlo organizers to put up these flags, Greece, Norway, Poland. It's just that they inverted the Polish flag for some reason.
And I had completely forgotten that they have the ceremony before the match begins where they play the anthem. I completely forgot about that. They make a big ceremony out of everything.
Tofu kebab, that's a challenge apparently from Ghosty. I mean, falafel happens everywhere, right? But like tofu kebab, I don't know if I've seen
kebab.
it.
I've never heard that ever.
Yeah, me neither.
It's gonna be hard. Yeah, vegetarian options are, you're saying, falafel.
Last few days have actually been pretty, like, let's say I've been craving a kebab. Maybe today is gonna be the day. I'll have to think about it.
That was a sign.
Maybe yes. Yeah, Ghosty just reminded me of my craving. Don't worry, Matthew. I mean, Casper Ruud is still in the set. We're still on serve. Maybe it's not over yet. Although, obviously, yes, the first set was not a competitive one.
Yeah, I think if he wins this game comfortably with good tennis, it might change a lot.
Yesterday, it was nice for him that after that kind of like throwaway second set, he started first in the third. We were chatting about this a bit with Vanch, that like, yeah, just started with a hold, and then of course he broke right away. But like, it just probably allowed him to ease the nerves a little bit here. Like, even if you hold a few times, suddenly the pressure will just be piling up. But we'll see. Maybe he can get his way around that anyway. But
yeah, I don't remember him winning such a bread and butter point, serve out wide and open, forehand to the open court. Maybe it's finally coming together for him.
time for that will probably be after the match, but I'm already kind of excited to hear, because yesterday we mentioned with fans that like Ruud, Tsitspas, they would still be in like tier 2 contenders for Roland Garros, let's say, after this event. I'm excited to hear if that opinion has changed a little bit if this match continues, but that's probably a topic for after the match. Maybe Casper Ruud comes back, and plays the most ridiculous tennis we've ever seen during the next 2 sets. That's obviously
if Tsitspas keeps up this level, I might have to even consider putting him in tier 1.
I might have to consider putting them in separate tiers. Is basically what I was kind of going for.
Oh yeah.
Like what I'm seeing so far doesn't really scream at me that Casper Ruud will have a good shot at winning the French, because I just feel like if this happens in this final, he goes to Paris and he runs into whoever in the final of the top guys, and we might have a repeat. But again, still not taking away his chances yet. I mean, he's still in this match.
Or in the quarters, right? Because he would be seeded in that.
Yeah, but he made 2 finals, right? So that's kind of the match where I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's the big deal. Like, even if the draw opens up, it's probably not gonna open up to that extent.
Yeah.
He should be seated somewhere 5 to 8, right?
Yeah.
Casper probably right now, yes. So if he draws Medvedev in his quarter, and one of the top 3 falls early.
Yeah.
Keep dreaming, Ghosty. Sean, I agree that it's a good question right now. Before Monte Carlo and Barcelona, I was firmly saying that it's Alcaraz number 1, but I guess right now we have to have some concerns. Yeah, we have to see him again. Just not really like his level, because I think if he's back, then his level is going to be fine. I just think, we have to see him actually playing and healthy and stuff. Get a nice event or 2 of a warm-up before Paris. That's pretty key too, although it doesn't need to be, I guess.
So a drop shot error and a double fault in this game. That dip might be coming or already have come. No. Good serve and volley.
That's the kind of volley he wanted to play in at 4-1, 40-30. But
yeah,
it's long gone by now. I don't think he's thinking about this point anymore. I think the moment he won that game, he probably forgot about it, and rightfully so.
Second serve. Wow.
Yeah. I think all I can say about this attempt was he tried.
Yeah. I mean, should he have? I don't know.
He was very much out of position.
Yeah.
Really, really far wide.
Man, Tsitspas is not making first serve, but he's just getting away with it.
Yeah, it's painful for Casper, because this is a game where Tsitspas is really donating stuff.
Yeah,
like he's really helping out.
Do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the first game, I didn't feel like Tsitspas was playing that well. So the first service game, I should say.
This is the moment where like a break is really palpable because Tsitspas is giving away stuff for free, but you gotta take it, and so far he hasn't been able to do it. I guess similarly to that fourth game of the first set as well.
Although not that time. Look at that ace.
Yeah, he does an unforced error, a good serve and volley, or an ace. So survives somehow.
Yeah, as long as the balance is right, he can pull it off.
Finally. He wants to go after his shots. That's respectable.
Yeah.
Jumping backhand down the line. Okay, not so down the line, but
Yeah, still down the line.
still not cross court.
Definitely not.
Still so far behind you on the pin. But he's protecting again the wide serve, and then now second serve. Some better depth, but he's getting pushed around again. Oh, yeah, some better depth. That's the key.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, this is forehand
That's
unforced
all I
error.
can say is.
Yeah. If he gets the break there, we can really say that he earned it, the last 3 points. But of course, he doesn't make that forehand.
Yeah, but like you're saying, Tsitsipas is not finding his first serve. Like it feels like it's now or never, because
Yeah, you got to break now. I mean, this is like his worst service game this whole match.
second serve and volley.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, and it works.
It
Because
works.
Ruud is already in South America when he's returning.
Yeah. Gets the forehand on it, but what difference does it make?
Yeah, the backhand is better than the forehand so far, isn't it? Although it's a very small sample size for the backhand.
Wow. Yeah, that was. That has to be really discouraging if you're Ruud. Like, that was a very good chance to get a break.
Yeah, exactly.
And confidence boosting for Tsitsipas to know that he can play at that level and still get away with it.
Yeah, that second serve and volley, definitely quite funny.
Let's see, they're showing something on the screen right now.
Yeah, 82% of forehands after the serve for Steph.
How did he? Oh, okay. Maybe those are volleys. Okay.
I think the ones on the backhand are volleys. Yeah.
Yeah.
the ones near the net. Yeah, the ones near the net.
Yeah.
Which really shouldn't be shown here. Like that's.
Yeah, they're not ground strokes.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with it. Like Tsitsipas does not have a backhand volley issue, you know. I don't know if anyone really has like a very strong forehand volley, but their backhand volley sucks. But I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, there would probably be some kind of philosophical tweet or something like that if he wins. You can pretty much expect that, Ghosty. There's nothing you can do about it.
Philosophical tweet.
Yeah.
No, please no.
You know what would be really funny is like if he just took Scott Barkley's tweet and just tweeted the same thing. That'd be hilarious.
The one about Novak Djokovic, which, by the way,
No,
I just saw it today. I just saw it
Yesterday he
today,
said
and
something like what
it was
Tsitspas would tweet
ludicrous.
him.
By the way, like how can you make a tweet that, you know, I'm feeling it that Novak Djokovic might win this event? Like, it's Novak Djokovic.
No,
Of
no,
course, he
no.
might
It
win this
wasn't
event.
okay. Yeah, I was not talking about that one. That was pretty funny though. But he said that if Tsitsipas wins, he would tweet something, and there's nothing we can do about it. And it was like very much a
I know, I
Tsitsipas
know.
tweet.
I just saw that one today, and I was just thinking, what?
Yeah,
Really? I mean, Novak Djokovic might win this event. That's your take. I mean, I can say that about, I don't know, Fabian Marozsan, and then it's big, you know. But Novak Djokovic.
Come on, he's
Casper
only
Ruud,
the
someone said, yeah, that was fine.
he's only the world number one. It would be
only
a
the
surprise.
GOAT. He's only the GOAT.
Top seed.
I mean, actually, we haven't spoken about this, Kokap, so I don't know what your take is, but I just said that he's the GOAT. Are you angry at me now, or are you fine with it?
No. I mean, that argument is closed, right? That's what I'm
It's
feeling.
It's not an interesting argument anymore. Now
We're all on the
it's
same
Yeah.
page. Then.
who
We're
will
all
have
on
a
the
better
same-
player, Alcaraz or Sinner? Like that's the new discussion. I think.
Yeah.
That's a more interesting debate than the GOAT debate.
in like tennis groups of friends, this is kind of like the like politics at a dinner table, you know. You might sort of run into some real issues if you
Yeah.
if you actually like sort of talk about this to someone who doesn't share your opinion, and you might just not talk to them for 10 years. But
Yeah.
thankfully here we're all on the same page. So
Yeah. Like those topics you avoid at the holiday table
exactly,
with family. Yeah, 2 years ago it was a lot of fire with the topic of with all the vaccination stuff, and his records were like, I think he was just catching up to Rafa. He wasn't ahead yet, so that was
Rafa
the
got
time.
2 of them, right? So yeah,
that was the time. But now it's calm waters. I think everyone's
unless you run like into a real diehard of one of the other 2 players.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise probably not too much of a topic anyway.
I mean, it sounds and looks like he's so further apart, but when you look at the head-to-heads, they're so close to each other. Actually, him to the other 2, not Federer and Nadal. So that's always interesting to remember because, you know, after so many Grand Slams and he won I don't know how many Masters titles, you get the feeling like he's so much better than the 2 of them in their matchups, which is not the case. But of course, like he had the big edge against Federer at slams, and like outside of clay, he didn't lose to Rafa for I don't know how many years. So there's that too.
Yeah, I guess it's an interesting argument. I guess what maybe my take is that he's not like the best player out of the 3 by far, but he's got the best record out of the 3 by far. Oh, maybe that's a thing. That's sort of to differentiate that. But anyway, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Casper Ruud. What can you guys give us in Casper, of course, trying to get his first ATP Masters 1000, and Stefanos Tsitsipas his third.
They're giving us service holds this set.
That's gonna be on tennis TV, bro. As method, I would say.
Oof.
Yep, oof, indeed.
I watched their match from 3 years ago in Madrid, like just a few points and the tiebreak. In the tiebreak, there was a point exactly like this, where Ruud goes extra hard on the backhand and Tsitspas misses the volley long, the backhand volley. Didn't happen this time.
Tiebreak was first set or second set?
First,
First set, yeah.
and then straight sets win for Ruud.
Mm-hmm.
That was the year that Berrettini made the final.
All right. I totally forgot that he did. Because he wasn't really too close to winning it.
And he had like beaten Felix. Okay, not the best lineup. I was gonna count the people, but no. I thought he beat Rune at that tournament, but no.
He beat Ruud in the semis, right? He beat Ruud in the semis and then lost to Zverev in the final.
No, I was thinking of who Ruud beat, but yeah, Bublik in the quarters. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bublik was. He made the quarters of Miami that year too. Just randomly.
Again, running around the back and return not giving much to Casper, so it's 3-2 Stefanos. I mean, at least it's been more competitive, but it does feel like we're like one break away from just ending the whole affair. That's very interesting that voting in the US is apparently like Gasquet playing Nadal with all Richards.
Oh my goodness.
Lesser evil. That's what you gotta do. I guess with Gasquet and Nadal, he kinda always went for the same thing. So he was that sort of voter.
I mean, it's kind of hard to believe now that actually Ruud won their last meeting.
Yeah. Madrid, I mean, is it actually better if the conditions are faster in this matchup for Casper? It might be.
I was thinking Los Cabos this year in the semis.
Oh, Los Cabos.
Yeah, I would give Tsitsipas the edge, like in Madrid or hard. Okay, hard. I don't know, but in Madrid, definitely. In hard as well with the serve.
So here it's closer. Yeah, makes sense.
I think it maybe also speaks to Tsitsipas' confidence not being good before this week.
Yeah,
it was way below par for like a lot of tournaments this year. Maybe the back injury as well in the off season, like or in Turin, I think that made it harder because he was also serving platform. He was not serving platform stance. He went to the pinpoint stance, and all of a sudden he was like his first serve percentage actually is still a kind of a problem, but he's getting away with it. So, but
is he still doing that switch this tournament?
No,
right? I didn't pay
That's
attention.
Why I think it was just to alleviate some pain in his back.
Okay, I was watching just that in Australia, and I couldn't watch the match. I was just watching his feet, which completely distracted me. And then I forgot about it, so I don't know what happened this week.
But honestly, what he said in the press was so weird. He was like, "Oh, I've been watching like Sinner and other players, and I've been thinking that I can add that to my game and make it a lot better." And I'm just kind of wondering, like, why would you make that change? You were number 1 or 2 in service games 1, and you had such a good, like your serve was not the problem. So why would you want to change that? But then I saw something like from another Greek source where it was like to alleviate back then. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes way more sense than the first reason.
The injury, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was kind of forced to do it rather than wanted to, of course. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good backhand. Ghosty in the chat.
Yeah, he's still hitting a lot of backhands. And in this set, it changed for Ruud. It's 13 backhands to 15 forehands. It's similar for Tsitspas.
Right, that was better. At least this is a pretty even set so far.
Yeah. No double breaks. The standard has gotten very low after the first set.
I guess that was a triple break in the first set.
Yeah, you're right.
It feels like Tsitsipas is winning all of these like extended exchanges where he just kind of outmaneuvered the other guy.
Yeah.
Probably also because like Casper being so far behind the baseline. Not every time, but in a lot of these.
And I think Tsitspas has really good footwork this week. He looks very fresh for a final.
Yes.
Tracking down all these forehands into his pretty open forehand corner. You gotta.
Yeah.
Best I've seen him over.
Yeah, that's pretty sick too.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
What a get. One thing to get there, but then what he did with it. Wow.
He might just get quite the reward for it too. Let's see, but
yeah, deuce from 40-15.
This would also easily be his most impressive Monte Carlo run.
Oh yeah,
the 3 titles that he's won, like by far, I would say.
Oh yeah, could he beat Monte Carlo? Davidovich Fokina in the final, obviously.
Yeah, I guess Zverev in the quarters and Zverev in the semis and Schwartzman in the quarters. Yeah,
Rublev in the final, and that's kind of the only standout win. And clearly it's the best one. Sinner does sort of make the difference for the most part, but you also have Zverev. You also have Ruud. Yeah, I mean Sinner is the key one if it happens.
3 top 10 wins, 2 top 5 wins. Yeah, that's doesn't get much better. Also,
then again, we have to remember that yesterday was like a little,
There's an asterisk.
He was very fortunate. He was very fortunate.
There was luck there, yeah. Which he admits too.
One man's luck is another man's whatever.
Oh, what a half
volley. I mean, playing Davidovich Fokina to defend your Monte Carlo title, that must feel so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that whole half where like you had Dimitrov, Hurkacz, Davidovich Fokina, all of them pretty much in the same sort of range in terms of their chances of getting to a final.
Yeah, now I'm just checking it, and the highest seed was Taylor Fritz in that half.
Taylor, the Monte Carlo specialist, as Vanch says, and a top 5 post striker, but not this week.
Does he do well in Monte Carlo?
Yeah. He'll rebound in Munich.
Yeah, he's defending semis there, right? So.
Semi or quarter, yeah. Quarter, I think, but I don't know.
Or
maybe a semi. No, maybe it was a semi.
Yeah,
definitely beat Fucsovics and lost to Botic, but that was semi. Yeah, could have been. All right, because he beat Team as well, right? I forgot about the Team win. Team actually might not make, because he's already dropping some points as well this week. He might actually not make Roland Garros. We'll see.
The main draw is the cutoff is this week, right? The
This
rankings
Monday,
tomorrow.
yes. The rankings of tomorrow, yes. Zizou today fighting for that spot.
Wow.
Pretty much Kokinakis as well, actually. They are like both on the verge currently. The one who gets the title will surely get
Yeah,
it.
I saw your tweet. I love these tweets that you put up. And then I'm suddenly watching Korea because I want to see what Duckworth is doing. Because he might just have a chance. Otherwise, I would never watch Busan. But
Duckworth really missed the trick there. Like he could have secured it, and now he's gonna be like, yeah, just on the verge. He was really hoping that someone like Sandgren, for example, wins in Sarasota, because if Kokinakis makes the final, I think he's already ahead of Duckworth. So yeah, it was quite thrilling. Only one more week as well for the qualies, because it should be 2 more weeks. However, during Madrid, of course, we're not going to get the ranking update. So the ATP really messed it up last year. I think it was both Roland Garros and Wimbledon, where like actually the qualifying cutoff date was 1 week earlier than it would usually be. I mean, they didn't properly like mess it up maybe, but like it's just one of the things that with the 2-week Masters kind of starts working a little different. And well, what can you do about it? We just have less ranking updates in a year now.
Yeah, I know that from our players here, the qualifying cutoff, because they have a hard time with that. And also there's the Billie Jean King Cup, which they have to play because there's not a lot of players, of course. So it's a lot of stress, and especially on the women's side, there's not a lot of tournaments. So it's like 2-3 weeks of, now or never.
The backhand winner versus Tsitspas. I don't think he's had a lot of like straight up outright winners, like maybe 3 or 4, but like a lot
definitely
of good
that one down the line.
Yeah,
and that's probably kind of 3 or 4 might be it. But after that, we get a shank, sort of, to keep things balanced.
Yeah, 40-15 though, at least. He doesn't make it like the first couple of service games where he was very shaky.
Well, still not done.
Wow, very nice forehand.
And if you showed this point to Casper Ruud pre-match, he would say, "Oh yeah, that's exactly how I want to be playing."
Exactly, that's what I'm gonna do every point. That's what I was thinking as well.
Ooh, some brutal forehand quality insights on my screen right now. Ruud 4.1 in the first set. But then 7.4 in the second, actually. Yeah, better than Tsitsipas in the second. In fact, better than Tsitsipas in the first, even. So maybe we're seeing that turnaround now. Maybe we're seeing it.
4.1 out of 10.
Yeah.
In the first set.
On the forehand.
Now it's 7.4.
Wow.
But he had 7 winners, so
Tsitsipas was about 7 for both sets. Okay. 6.9, 7.0, I think, if I remember correctly.
Whoa, that's not going to get it done.
So this was a 40-15 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40-15, backhand shank, and then Ruud.
Yeah.
Forehand winner, and then this... I can't really blame him. Like, he's had success with the serve volley. It's just... I think he's ready for it. But so far... I think how many break points has Ruud had in the match?
I feel like that point at 40-30, that long one, was the first one Ruud won, and like a long rally. Maybe he did before, but it felt like it.
One of the first, yeah.
Yeah, I think his feet are faster now. And a good,
So
good
apparently in
save.
the second set, Casper only has 4 forehand winners according to the stats. But
Whoa,
well,
that
Yeah,
was
7 winners and a 4.1 score don't go together. I think they
yeah,
probably typed 7 instead of 1.
maybe. But yeah, that's a great save, of course, from Tsitsipas. If that 40-30 point was the one that Ruud would want to see every single time, then this is what Tsitsipas wants to see every single time.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, get ready for this. Do you have a favorite type of shank?
I'm trying to think of the options now.
Because mine is probably lamb.
I have
Ugh.
0. Probably
So
the
yeah,
one
I mean,
that
I honestly
lobs,
don't even.
a lob that lands in. That's very uncomfortable for the other side.
yeah. That time Ruud tried to go for it, winner on the second serve.
No, it wasn't really a serious question. I just wanted to throw in that horrible joke about the lamb shank, and that's everything.
It reminds me of the
Worries.
tweet I put out this week, which was like, what was the joke again? Let me think.
Yeah, he missed that return, but made this one. Nice winner.
So there's this guy, Matt Zemek, who always just makes cheesy little
Mhm.
puns about players, right?
Yeah.
And I think he was making a joke. Let's see if I can find the tweet.
Sean was asking in the meantime, has Ruud's game changed much in the last few years? This year, I mean, we've been talking about this, that he's like more aggressive and really trying to go for it more. I know this hasn't been maybe the perfect vessel for it, like this much. Of course not, but
Oh, super.
Amazing lob and such a clever backhand from Ruud.
Wow.
He didn't go cross court, not to get drive volleyed. He's hitting from the tops.
He's had some actually pretty insane like backhand lobs this tournament, like some really good ones, like on the stretch or on the defense. Like, there's this one really good point he played against Umber. Beginning of the third set, like just this crazy backhand lob.
Another good save from Tsitsipas.
and that's actually one of these backhands that you could sort of see close to the net, and they weren't volleys on the +1 shot.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
He actually took it
it's
straight up.
breaking down right now. This is like talk about someone who went from having no confidence to like.
I don't. On the Ruud's improvement, though, I don't think there has been like a big shift. He always had powerful forehand, a fast serve, but I think he's just going up like a few percentage points, and then it went down last year, and then he's trying to go back up again.
Yeah, right now, he's basically trying to get back to 2022. You think?
Did he miss a smash?
Yes,
he did.
Wow, he missed it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, good winner, but
This
like,
was-
of course,
Wasn't this exactly like the Djokovic point yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
The one that
pretty
was
much.
very slow,
The one
right?
in the first set.
The one that
in
he
the
tried
first
to
set,
like
yeah.
swat away, like
Touch
he
it, like he wanted to touch that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that was worse.
Oh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
given
it
the
was-
moment here,
this wasn't quite as bad as that one, but this is
given the stakes, given the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
right
yeah,
now.
if this changes the match, that would be like, this is gonna be on tennis TV, but in the bad way.
we need.
Not that time.
Again, second serve, he does nothing with the return, and Tsitsipas just puts it away.
I think that was him doing something. That was
Really?
like that far back on the backhand. I think he just wanted to avoid going cross court, maybe because he saw him. But like from that far back, like this is as much
But
as
it's
as much as
impossible.
you can do.
Yeah, but like it's impossible from that far back to really create much more.
Yeah,
At least
He
with
doesn't
this.
feel confident enough in his backhand technique to be able to,
Yeah.
stand whatever, like on the baseline. And
But Tsitsipas is really like picking up on it as well, right?
so the natural
This
response is
set, by the way,
serving
39 points on the Tsitsipas serve, 19 on Ruud's. First set they had in the same amount. So, at least it's not like the first set, but still Casper is missing some key chances here, and we'll see.
yeah. If there's another second serve and volley, that would be fun to see what's gonna happen next.
it's the second serve. Oh wait, this time I'm actually seeing Ruud like stand really close.
Yeah, exactly. And he went for the nice cross court. He's given up on that down the line. He's like,
Wow.
yeah,
You
I'm gonna go
see
back
what
to
happens,
this.
Casper, when you do that? Maybe you should do that again.
Yeah. And Steph also hitting that last backhand. Well, that attempt to pass, kind of like Chris Eubanks.
Yeah, he was just
Bottom of the
hitting
net.
so you just have to like.
Summer.
It was like
I just remembered. I
record.
don't know if I told anyone, but like in a story, I was just walking around the venue, and a couple of guys were just walking past me. They were talking in English, and they said
Yeah.
that something. I really like Chris, but anytime I watch him hit a backhand, it just really hurts or something like that. So he was kind of the talk of the town in the story.
Yeah, you could say that about some players.
The ground game is Ivo Karlovic-esque.
Ivo had a slice,
Yeah, I know.
but obviously the forehand is the forehand is more, let's say, dangerous. He still moves better as well. Anyway, 4-3.
We saw Eubanks use it on the grass, but he hasn't really been doing it since slice.
Yeah. It's like a pretty big disappointment when guys like this, especially when Tim van Rijthoven was doing it, right? Like on grass, he has this like wonderful chopped return and he has the fantastic slice, and then he starts playing hard courts and he uses none of that.
Yeah.
Of course, now we would actually want to see Tim van Rijthoven play any tennis whatsoever rather than...
I was going to ask, he's still out, right?
He was originally supposed to play in Faro. There were a couple of 25Ks there in February, but then he gave up on that idea. And for now, who knows? But yeah, he still hasn't played since whenever, really. What was it? Rotterdam last year, maybe? Was that his last appearance?
Could be.
I think so.
Yeah, this was an important hold for Tsitsipas. 6 deuce points, 3 break points.
Evil Karlovic, I like it.
Dr. Evil.
Ghosty, a source of information, but you don't remember the name of Karsten Brasch? How can you? think even Ivo Karlovic would buy an Evil Karlovic t-shirt. It can be a good idea. We should supply it to him somehow. Seems like kind of like his humor. So
yeah, definitely. He would
just
totally change his Twitter handle.
Yeah, just didn't have Ghosty around, to tell him when he was still playing, and like the merchandise would actually really be, sellable to anyone. Well, not to anyone, but.
Wow, Tsitspas did everything not to give up ground, like half volleys on the backhand, but good attack from Ruud.
Yep. It's just about those break points this set, right? How many? I think 8 for 8 on the 8 break points he's had all match. So it's supposed to saved only 5 in the second set. So he's been cruising on serve, right?
Compared to Tsitsipas, for sure, yeah. And this game will only like keep up that stat of Steph just playing like 40 something points on serve already in the second set, and Casper winning a game in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Also, I feel like second serve points once. Tsitsipas is at like over 70%. He's won 24 out of 36 second serve points. He's only won 58% on his first serve.
Yeah, and this time I wasn't expecting to see like an easy service game. I thought 5-3 and the match is over. But no, love game.
Yeah, still my feeling is that like there will be a game sooner rather than later where it doesn't go that right for Ruud, but who knows? Maybe it's just going to be the pressure of 4-5 or 5-6, or maybe he's going to surprise us and keep himself in the match for the decider as well.
This sounds only a little bit like, the semi in Estoril. Waiting for Peak Martinez to go away, which he never did.
Yeah, it's the other way around here, I guess, but yeah. We were just sitting there and like, okay, so if there's one break, done. Casper is going to win.
But 3 hours later.
And then I guess it was 5-1, and we were like, okay, so now the match is done. Now Casper is just, it's over. But then it actually wasn't.
He makes a comeback.
That smooth. Yeah, it actually wasn't that smooth for Pedro.
When was Casper's last title? Was it Estoril last year? Against
did he only win Estoril last year? Was that the only one?
Yeah, I think so. Just
I
the
guess
one
so.
title. Wow, it's been more than 12 months then.
They both have 10 titles.
Who won? No. Who won Bastad though? Bostad.
Rublev?
Over him in the final,
like
right?
With a bagel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then just a story last year, I'm pretty sure. I remembered the final, but I couldn't remember who won.
Tsitsipas, Los Cabos was his only title last year. We both have 10 titles.
Casper needs this so bad, says River. In fact, it seems like it could potentially hurt him for the future in other big finals if he loses this one.
What
is this even a decent account of himself in the second set, so it's not the worst.
Both of these players are playing Barcelona. I wonder what Casper's draw is like. Is another final possible? Let's see. Casper's the third seed. He has Rublev as his potential semi.
The Bostad final rematch.
Yeah, honestly, Jordan Thompson again in the 4th round.
That's not a threat on clay.
That's
He
not a
also
threat.
withdrew from Monte Carlo, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think he's that fit, probably.
Yeah. Kachanov maybe in the quarters. No.
Grand Slam semi-final rematch.
Brandon Nakashima in the semis? No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
Could be Echeverry. Could be Echeverry, could be Rublev.
And Echeverry won one game against Tsitspas this week.
Yeah. Actually, here, that's another parallel for you. Hanfman and Dimitrov last week. Or Hanfman and Dimitrov, Miami, the last Masters 1000. 6-1, 6-0 for Grigor. Gets to the final. This week, Hanfman, Tsitspas.
Dimitrov didn't win it.
Yeah, Dimitrov didn't win it.
Will
But
Tsitsipas
both back in the top 10.
Okay. And both one-handers.
Yeah.
Both in the top 16.
I feel like top 16. We should make that more like.
I get it. Recently, I actually made a reference to top 32.
If I said something like top 71 or top 50, now I'm like really reaching. But like 16, I think is fine.
I get it. I recently made a top 32 reference. I think it was about the seeds in Marrakesh, that there were no top 32 seeds because it felt
Honestly,
like a bit more relevant than top 30.
Like we like to say top 5 and top 10, but top 10 doesn't really mean anything in terms of like 9 and 10 doesn't mean much. But like 8, 8, 16, 32, I think we can do that. Oh, this time Ruud going for the shank.
Yeah, that was a great second serve too, but Tsitsipas, a casual backhand flat return.
He also held it love in the last game, right? So
yeah,
they both held the love service games.
Oh, just 2 points.
Oh, yeah, backhand. Net. Oh, yeah, this is big trouble right now. I wonder what the crowd support is like. You think it's even or more for Stefanos? I actually don't know because I don't know that sound on.
Oh, I feel like Ruud's arm is like it was shaking both for the forehand and the smash.
Yeah,
But he put it away.
Still, did a pretty good job on the smashes. Safe enough, but also powerful enough. Avoided the Murray Kokinaki's point. I think it was Josef Kowalik as well today, earlier in the split final, who lost a point like this against John Borpiros.
Ooh. Another backhand miss.
Match
two
point.
And 4 serves this game.
And a very loud cheer for Tsitsipas. Just turned the volume on. I'm surprised, yeah.
Maybe they love him in Monte Carlo now.
I think they do. He gets good crowd support here.
Yeah, usually. I think so.
This one in Australia, he's very popular there too. It's a very good return. Let's see if it amounts to. Wow, he does it.
Nice.
That was really a great match point by him. And yeah, it means a lot to him.
All the best for the clay court season. Do well, huh? To Ruud.
Yeah.
Goes there jumping. Wow. What a result for him.
Yeah, that was such a great performance.
Oh my god, the father's still talking. The match is over. He's still explaining something to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he gained so much confidence during the week, and a lot of the final was kind of based on that for sure. The backhand looked pretty
Definitely.
solid for the most part. Like, it's not a massive weakness on clay. Definitely not. And
Yeah.
all in all, so maybe let's come back to that question from earlier. Where do they sort of stack up in terms of the contenders for the rest of the clay season? Let's not only talk about Roland Garros, just Madrid, Rome, the big events remaining on clay. Are they in the same tier, or is Tsitsipas like firmly ahead because of what we saw today? And how close is Tsitsipas now to the top 3 as well? That's another question.
He has to be in the top 4 favorites now for the rest of the clay season, right? Like at least 4th. So I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, and fairly close to 3rd as well, with Sinner 3.
Yeah, I agree. I think this puts him like right there, like ahead of Zverev, maybe some other guys. Like the top 3 are. I have no idea how they're gonna do on this clay season, especially Djokovic. Usually, if it was like 2 years ago, I would be like, yeah, he did 2 semifinals, but that doesn't mean anything. He's gonna, find his Grand Slam level back. But this year, I don't know. Even Ivanisevic was saying in his interview, like it's not as easy for him to come back after long stretches of not playing.
Mhm.
And he did have an amazing match against Novak at the French. Alcaraz, I don't think so. Like probably, yeah, number 4 seed and number 4 favorite, like you're saying.
I mean, but if he keep this up, like let's say he wins Barcelona next week, yeah, now you can talk about maybe putting him 3rd. I don't know.
Yeah, what he does in Rome maybe is gonna make.
Yeah, maybe Rome actually, because Sinner is not playing Barcelona.
Yeah,
You said
when he
something
plays with those
controversial
guys.
with that Sinner definitely number 3. I think like I don't think that's super clear, but to me still far away from the top 3. But clearly he's the best out of the rest currently. Like over Zverev, you can't really make the argument. Probably after Monte Carlo, you can't make the argument with Rune yet. At least maybe he keeps getting better during the clay season. Ruud, I thought maybe there was an argument, but this was not a convincing match from Casper whatsoever. Like I just feel like if he runs into one of these guys in the final of Madrid, Rome, Roland Garros, I don't know. He just doesn't scream like confidence in these moments, and I don't think he fully played his game today. Obviously,
Yeah.
Stefanos was really good, and he gained confidence during the week. Absolutely, that was like sort of the best that we've seen from him in ages. But yeah, I mean, Casper was definitely kind of out there, and for at least a set and a half. Well, let's say at least a set. Had no idea what he was doing whatsoever, and then after that, it still was like a little, unclutch and just overall not that impressive. You couldn't see that more aggressive edge he's going for. You couldn't really see much invention from him.
Yeah.
Much like the other big matches that he played before.
Yeah, and he missed 5 break points in the second, which could have, changed the match maybe for him. But even if he won very comfortably today, I think my answer to your question would be the same. Like, I don't think, like, with that backhand, it's very hard for him to contend against the top guys. But Tsitsipas, yes, like he has done it before, and he has more than his forehand as a weapon. And it looks like a lot of burden is off his shoulders now. He was crying just now on the bench, so I think we might see like the old guy come back, old Stefanos. Let's see.
Pretty ironic that you said about Ruud with that backhand he cannot contend with the top guys, because like the last 12 months or so, that's what everyone's been saying about Tsitspas, right? But today, I mean, there was one guy who had a pretty mediocre average backhand, not really doing anything, and the other who had pretty much the same amount of errors, but was actually also able to produce aggressive shots off it and good returns a lot of the time.
But when it mattered in the last game, it fell apart a bit. But yeah, those winners were surprising to me. Yesterday as well against Djokovic. Today as well, he hit some amazing backhand.
Oh, I was actually talking about Tsitsipas. In my analogy,
Okay.
the guy with the mediocre shot today was Ruud, and the one who actually was able to produce something was Tsitsipas. Yeah, that was what I was going for.
Yeah, he definitely got the better of the backhand duels.
And that's something we were not expecting, probably, given our post-match talk yesterday. But again, there weren't any backhand-to-backhand rallies, really. So, that pattern couldn't really show up. As, both players kind of had it their way, but Ruud wasn't able to utilize it in any way. Ghosty, what's that question about exactly? Is this good for Monte Carlo? Was this a good conclusion for the tournament? Tournament would have enjoyed the Djokovic Sinner final more, but like Tsitsipas winning it, clearly a big hero at that venue. I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
And it felt like the climax was yesterday. Both matches were very exciting yesterday, and this today it's a bit of a downer, but they seem to enjoy the second set.
Some other comments in the chat. Ghibli saying that Holger can lift his game to be a threat in that Steph, Casper, Zverev, maybe Daniel group. Yeah, possibly. I mean, to me, he's pretty much in that Casper, Zverev group, but not with Steph at the moment, it seems.
Yeah, maybe for now, Steph has separated himself from those four guys.
Ghibli with this comment as well. Nothing to add, really. That's a good summary.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it easier to protect the backhand than the forehand, like Coco? That's an interesting question, although I'm not sure why it would be easier, to be honest.
Yeah, it depends.
Well, it is easier because not many players hit backhands inside out and stuff. But like, if you do, if you're like Richard Gasquet, for example,
you're
probably gonna be fine. But I guess it's more rare, to have that, sure.
So yeah, number 7 in the world.
I should do the same.
You didn't inspire only me, or actually Ghosty inspired me, but you inspired Ghosty to eat a turkey sandwich or a turkey.
Maybe you could eat a turkey kebab, the combo.
I'll think about it. Mustard and Swiss cheese as well. Okay. On rye. Well, that's some very interesting eating choices. Do we have anything else we need to touch on? Before we close off the stream? The big stories were yesterday, I guess. Today, the big story is Stefanos Tsitsipas, 3 ATP 1000 titles, 3 in Monte Carlo.
Yeah, 3 Monte Carlo titles. That's more than Djokovic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's 3 more than Federer, definitely.
It ties him with Thomas Muster, Ilan Nastasi, and Bjorn Borg.
And does anyone else have, more than them, but less than Rafa?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
So basically, very soon he could be, like next year, he could be the second best Monte Carlo player ever.
Yeah, like he's the Monte Carlo prince. He's the prince of the principality. How about that?
Nicola Pietrangeli, pre-Open era, also won it 3 times. and pre-open era also some people like in the 1910s and in the 19 how do you say it, 1900s? No, that doesn't make sense. That would be for the whole century. Anyway, never mind. There's a couple of guys who actually have like 5-6-4, but ever since tennis became, let's say post World War II tennis, he is actually the second best right now, along with some people, but he might be the third best. So it might be the second best if he wins one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get too involved in that list of previous winners. We might be talking about that forever then. And I guess it's gonna be it then. Thank you guys for the stream. Thank you to everyone in the chat as well. Hope
Thank you,
everyone
guys.
had fun. Yes, Nurlan, for you, I will address that fact. By the way, Kokal, do you know Nurlan? Because I think he lives in Turkey as well.
No way. No, I don't know him.
Country. It's such a small country, you know. You might know him. Why not? 20 million people. I mean, in Istanbul alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if he lives in Istanbul though. But he is a star of our chat for sure. And
Nice.
yeah, it's a shame that he came at the end. You didn't get to see like the whole Nurlan experience. Once again, thank you guys, and I guess we'll be wrapping up, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.